ॐ गुरुर्ब्रह्मा गुरुर्विष्णुः गुरुर्देवो महेश्वरः गुरुसाक्षात् परब्रह्म तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। अखण्डमण्डलाकारं व्याप्तं येन चराचरं तत्पदं दर्शितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। श्रुतिस्मृतिपुराणानाम् आलयं करुणालयं नमामि भगवत्पादं शङ्करं लोकशङ्करम्। ॐ सहनाववतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। Hari Om. So, as guided by Brahmaraji, we start with chanting the Tatvabodha first, and then we will go ahead with the text which we started yesterday. Shri Shankara Bhagavad Padarcharya Pranitah Vasudevendra Yogindram Natva Jnanapradam Gurum Mumukshunam Hitarthaya Tatvabodhobhidhiyate साधनचतुष्टय सम्पन्नाधिकारिणां मोक्षसाधनभूतं तत्त्वविवेकप्रकारं वक्ष्यामः। साधनचतुष्टयं किं नित्यानित्यवस्तुविवेकः इहामुत्रार्थफलभोगविरागः। Brahmaraji, kindly let me know if it is not correct, the tuning and the thing. Please guide if it is.
Yeah, the tune is fine. You're doing it very well. You can either do that or you can just read it as a question. Sadhana chatushtayam kim? Nitya
Okay.
nitya vastu vivekaha. Iha mutrartha phalabhoga viragaha. Shamadhi shat sampattihi. Mumukshutvam cheti.
Okay. Yeah. Then
Nitya,
should
yeah, go ahead.
should I read the whole, this all shlokas today, and then we start the actual text of Swami Ananda?
Yeah, you can do that. This will take about 10 minutes maybe to read all of this.
Yeah. So as per your guidance, we go ahead, or we should just read few
No, because
shlokas.
see, the shlokas are what are very important, Nana said, because the shlokas have their definitions. So,
Correct.
if you want me to read the chant the shlokas, I will, and then you can take over the PDF.
Yeah. Please. You can chant the shlokas, Brahmaraji. Yeah. And PDFs of Swami Chinmayanandji, right? Not what we started yesterday.
Yeah, I mean, whichever is fine. Doesn't matter. Both are from Chinmaya Mission. I will leave it to you. Sadhana chatushtayam kim? Nitya nitya vastu vivekaha. Iha mutrartha phalabhoga viragaha. Shamadhi shat sampattihi. Mumukshutvam cheti. Nitya nitya vastu vivekaha kaha. Nitya vastu vekam brahma tad vyatirittam sarvam anityam. Ayameva nitya nitya vastu vivekaha. Viragaha kaha. Iha swarga bhogeshu icha rahityam. शमादि सा शमादि साधन संपत्तिः का? शमोदम उपरम तितिक्षा श्रद्धा समाधानं च इति। शमः कः? मनोनिग्रहः.
Dr. Brahma, can they be sung also? Like, yeah,
This
you
is
must
the
know.
Yeah, I'm not sure whether they can be sung. Maybe they can be, but these are all questions.
Yeah, these are all questions. Okay.
So
Carry on.
they can be sung provided they have a meter, like they have the chandas, like we have the Bhagavad Gita and all that.
Yes. Okay, carry on.
Yeah, but maybe you can also sing it. I'm not.
No,
I'm not-
I don't know. I like
Right.
you must be knowing better because you know that lyrics of this thing is not very, like I'm not very tuned to this. I just learned that Gita chanting. Yeah, you carry on, please. Sorry for interruption.
No issues. Shamah kaha manonigrahaha. Damah kaha चक्षुरादि बाह्येन्द्रिय निग्रहः. उपरमः कः? स्वधर्मानुष्ठानमेव. तितिक्षा का? शीतोष्ण सुख दुःखादि सहिष्णुत्वम्. श्रद्धा कीदृशी? गुरुवेदान्त वाक्येषु विश्वासः श्रद्धा. समाधानं किम्? चित्तैकाग्रता. मुमुक्षुत्वं किम्? मोक्षो मे भूयात् इति इच्छा. एतत् साधनचतुष्टयम्. ततः तत्त्वविवेकस्याधिकारिणो भवन्ति. तत्त्वविवेकः कः? आत्मा सत्यं तदन्यत् सर्वं मिथ्येति. आत्मा कः? स्थूल सूक्ष्म कारण शरीरात् व्यतिरिक्तः पंचकोशातीतः सन् अवस्थात्रय साक्षी सच्चिदानंद स्वरूपः सन् यः तिष्ठति स आत्मा. स्थूल शरीरं किम्? पंचीकृत पंचमहाभूतैः कृतं सत्कर्मजन्यं सुखदुःखादि भोगायतनं शरीरम् अस्ति. जायते वर्धते विपरिणमते अपक्षीयते विनश्यतीति षड्विकारवत् एतत् स्थूल शरीरम्. सूक्ष्म शरीरं किम्? अपंचीकृत पंचमहाभूतैः कृतं सत्कर्मजन्यं सुखदुःखादि भोग साधनं पंच ज्ञानेन्द्रियाणि पंच कर्मेन्द्रियाणि पंच प्राणादयः मनश्चैकं बुद्धिश्चैका एवं सप्तदशा कलाभिः सह यत्तिष्ठति तत् सूक्ष्म शरीरम्. श्रोत्रं त्वक् चक्षुः रसना घ्राणम् इति पंच ज्ञानेन्द्रियाणि. श्रोत्रस्य दिग्देवता. त्वचो वायुः. चक्षुषः सूर्यः. रसनाय वरुणः. घ्राणस्य अश्विनौ इति ज्ञानेन्द्रिय देवताः. श्रोत्रस्य विषयः शब्दग्रहणं. त्वचो विषयः स्पर्शग्रहणं. चक्षुषोर्विषयः रूपग्रहणं. रसनाय विषयः रसग्रहणं. घ्राणस्य विषयः गन्धग्रहणम् इति. वाक् पाणि पाद उपस्थानीति पंच कर्मेन्द्रियाणि. वाचो देवता वह्निः. हस्तयोरिन्द्रः. पादयोर्विष्णुः. पायोर्मृत्युः. उपस्थस्य प्रजापतिः इति कर्मेन्द्रिय देवताः. वाचो विषयः भाषणं. पाण्योर्विषयः वस्तुग्रहणं. पादयोर्विषयः गमनं. पायोर्विषयः मलत्यागः. उपस्थस्य विषयः आनन्द इति. कारणशरीरं किम्? अनिर्वाच्य अनाद्य अविद्यारूपं शरीरद्वयस्य कारणमात्रं सत्स्वरूपाज्ञानं निर्विकल्पकरूपं यदस्ति तत् कारणशरीरम्. अवस्थात्रयं किम्? जाग्रत् स्वप्न सुषुप्त्यावस्थाः. जाग्रदवस्था का श्रोत्रादि ज्ञानेन्द्रियैः शब्दादि विषयैश्च ज्ञायते इति यत् सा जाग्रदवस्था। स्थूल शरीराभिमानी आत्मा विश्वा इति उच्यते। स्वप्नावस्था केति चेत् जाग्रदवस्थायां यद् दृष्टं यत् श्रुतं तज्जनितवासनया निद्रा समये यः प्रपञ्चः प्रतीयते सा स्वप्नावस्था। सूक्ष्म शरीराभिमानी आत्मा तैजसा इति उच्यते। अतः सुषुप्त्यावस्था का अहं किमपि न जानामि सुखेन मया निद्रा अनुभूयता इति सुषुप्त्यावस्था। कारण शरीराभिमानी आत्मा प्राज्ञा इति उच्यते। पंचकोशाः के अन्नमय प्राणमय मनोमय विज्ञानमय आनंदमयश्चेति। अन्नमयः कः? अन्नरसेनैव भूत्वा अन्नरसेनैव वृद्धिं प्राप्य अन्नरूपपृथिव्यां यद् विलीयते तदन्नमयः कोशः स्थूलशरीरम्। प्राणमयः कः? प्राणाद्याः पञ्चवायवः वागादीन्द्रियपञ्चकं प्राणमयः कोशः। मनोमयः कोशः कः? मनश्च ज्ञानेन्द्रियपञ्चकं मिलित्वा यो भवति स मनोमयः कोशः। विज्ञानमयः कः? बुद्धि ज्ञानेन्द्रिय पंचकं मिलित्वा यो भवति स विज्ञानमयः कोशः। आनंदमयः कः? एवमेव कारण शरीर भूता विद्यास्थमलिनसत्वं प्रियादिवृत्ति सहितं सत् आनंदमयः कोशः। एतत् कोशपञ्चकम्। पंचकोशातीतः मदीयं शरीरं मदीयाः प्राणाः मदीयं मनश्च मदीया बुद्धिर् मदीयम् अज्ञानमिति स्तेनैव भूत्वा स्वेनैव ज्ञायते तद्यथा मदीयत्वेन ज्ञातं कटककुण्डलगृहादिकं स्वस्माद् भिन्नं तथा पंचकोशादिकं स्वस्माद् भिन्नं मदीयत्वेन ज्ञातमात्मा न भवति। आत्मा तर्हि कः? सच्चिदानंद स्वरूपः। सत् किं? कालत्रयेऽपि तिष्ठतीति सत्। चित् किं? ज्ञानस्वरूपः। आनन्दः कः? सुखस्वरूपः। एवं सच्चिदानन्दस्वरूपं स्वात्मानं विजानीयात्। जगत् अथ चतुर्विंशति तत्वोत्पत्ति प्रकारं वक्ष्यामः। ब्रह्माश्रया सत्वरजस्तमो गुणात्मिका माया अस्ति। ततः आकाशः सम्भूतः। आकाशाद् वायुः, वायोस्तेजः, तेजस् आपः, अद्भ्यः पृथिवी। एतेषां पञ्चतत्त्वानां मध्ये आकाशस्य सात्विकांशात् श्रोत्रेन्द्रियं सम्भूतम्, वायोः सात्विकांशात् त्वगीन्द्रियं सम्भूतम्, अग्नेः सात्विकांशात् चक्षुरिन्द्रियं सम्भूतम्, जलस्य सात्विकांशात् रसनेन्द्रियं सम्भूतम्, पृथिव्याः सात्विकांशात् घ्राणेन्द्रियं सम्भूतम्। एतेषां पञ्चतत्त्वानां समष्टि सात्विकांशात् मनोबुद्ध्यहङ्कार चित्तान्तःकरणानि सम्भूतानि। संकल्प विकल्पात्मकं मनः, निश्चयात्मिका बुद्धिः, अहंकर्ता अहंकारः, चिन्तनकर्तृ चित्तम्, मनसो देवता चन्द्रमाः, बुद्धेः ब्रह्म, अहंकारस्य रुद्रः, चित्तस्य वासुदेवः। एतेषां पञ्चतत्त्वानां मध्ये आकाशस्य राजसांशात् वागीन्द्रियं सम्भूतम्, वायोः राजसांशात् पाणीन्द्रियं सम्भूतम्, वह्नेः राजसांशात् पादेन्द्रियं सम्भूतम्, जलस्य राजसांशात् उपस्थेन्द्रियं सम्भूतम्, पृथिव्या राजसांशात् गुदेन्द्रियं सम्भूतम्, एतेषां समष्टि राजसांशात् पञ्चप्राणाः सम्भूताः, एतेषां पञ्चतत्त्वानां तामसांशात् पञ्चीकृतपञ्चतत्त्वानि भवन्ति। पञ्चीकरणं कथमिति चेत् एतेषां पञ्चमहाभूतानां तामसांशस्वरूपम् एकमेकं भूतं द्विधा विभज्य एकमेकमर्धं पृथक् तूष्णीं व्यवस्थाप्य अपरमपरमर्धं चतुर्धां विभज्य स्वाधर्मण्येषु अर्धेषु स्वभागचतुष्टयसंयोजनं कार्यम्, तदा पञ्चीकरणं भवति। एतेभ्यः पञ्चीकृतपञ्चमहाभूतेभ्यः स्थूलशरीरं भवति। एवं पिण्डब्रह्माण्डयोरैक्यं सम्भूतम्। स्थूलशरीराभिमानी जीवनामकं ब्रह्म प्रतिबिम्बं भवति। स एव जीवः प्रकृत्या स्वस्मात् ईश्वरं भिन्नत्वेन जानाति। अविद्योपाधिः सन् आत्मा जीव इत्युच्यते, मायोपाधिः सन् ईश्वर इति उच्यते। एवं उपाधिभेदात् जीवेश्वरभेददृष्टिः यावत् पर्यन्तं तिष्ठति तावत् पर्यन्तं जन्म मरणादि रूपसंसारो न निवर्तते। तस्मात् कारणात् न जीवेश्वरयोर्भेदबुद्धिः स्वीकार्या। ननु साहंकारस्य किंचिज्ञस्य जीवस्य निरहंकारस्य सर्वज्ञस्य ईश्वरस्य तत्त्वमसीति महावाक्यात् कथमभेदबुद्धिः स्यादुभयोः विरुद्धधर्माक्रान्तत्वात् इति चेन्न स्थूलसूक्ष्मशरीराभिमानी त्वं पदवाच्यार्थः उपाधिविनिर्मुक्तं समाधिदशा संपन्नं शुद्धं चैतन्यं त्वं पदलक्ष्यार्थः। एवं सर्वज्ञत्वादिविशिष्ट ईश्वरः तत्पदवाच्यार्थः। उपाधिशून्यं शुद्धचैतन्यं तत्पदलक्ष्यार्थः। एवं च जीवेश्वरयो चैतन्यरूपेणाभेदे बाधकाभावः। एवं च वेदान्तवाक्यैः सद्गुरूपदेशेन च सर्वेष्वपि भूतेषु येषां ब्रह्मबुद्धिरुत्पन्ना ते जीवन्मुक्ताः इत्यर्थः। ननु जीवन्मुक्तः कः? यथा देहोऽहं, पुरुषोऽहं, ब्राह्मणोऽहं, शूद्रोऽहमस्मीति दृढनिश्चयस्तथा नाहं ब्राह्मणः न शूद्रः न पुरुषः किन्तु असङ्गः सच्चिदानन्दस्वरूपः प्रकाशरूपः सर्वान्तर्यामी चिदाकाशरूपोऽस्मीति दृढनिश्चय रूपो अपरोक्षज्ञानवान् जीवन्मुक्तः। ब्रह्मैवाहमस्मीति अपरोक्षज्ञानेन निखिलकर्मबन्धविनिर्मुक्तः स्यात्। कर्माणि कतिविधानि सन्तीति चेत् आगामि सञ्चितप्रारब्धभेदेन त्रिविधानि सन्ति। ज्ञानोत्पत्त्यनन्तरं ज्ञानिदेहकृतं पुण्यपापरूपं कर्म यदस्ति तदागामित्यभिधीयते। सञ्चितं कर्म किम्? अनन्तकोटिजन्मनां बीजभूतं सत् यत् कर्म जातं पूर्वार्जितं तिष्ठति तत् संचितं ज्ञेयम् प्रारब्धं कर्म किमिति चेत् इदं शरीरमुत्पाद्य इहलोके एवं सुखदुःखादिप्रदं यत् कर्म तत् प्रारब्धं भोगेन नष्टं भवति प्रारब्धकर्मणा भोगादेव क्षय इति संचितं कर्म ब्रह्मैवाहमिति निश्चयात्मकज्ञानेन नश्यति आगामि कर्म अपि ज्ञानेन नश्यति किंच आगामि कर्मणा नलिनीदलगत जलवत् ज्ञानिनां संबंधो नास्ति किंच ये ज्ञानिनं स्तुवन्ति भजन्ति अर्चयन्ति तान् प्रति ज्ञानिकृतम् आगामि पुण्यं गच्छति ये ज्ञानिनं निन्दन्ति द्विषन्ति दुःखप्रदानं कुर्वन्ति तान् प्रति ज्ञानिकृतं सर्वमागामि क्रियमाणां ये यद वाच्यं कर्म पापात्मकं तद् गच्छति सुहृदः पुण्यकृतं दुहृदः पापकृत्यं गृह्णन्ति तथा च आत्मवित् संसारं तीर्त्वा ब्रह्मानन्दमिहैव प्राप्नोति तरति शोकमात्मवित् इति श्रुतेः तनुं त्यजतु वा काश्यां श्वपचस्य गृहेथ वा ज्ञानसम्प्राप्तिसमये मुक्तोऽसौ विगताशयः इति स्मृतेश्च इति श्रीशङ्करभगवत्पादाचार्यप्रणीतः तत्त्वबोधप्रकरणं समाप्तम् ओम तत्सत्
Dhanyavad Brahmaraji, so beautiful. Kindly let me know which one we should begin. Participants, please let me know. What we started yesterday, that only we should continue, or the other text which Dr. Mara has shared.
I think the train of thought would be almost the same. It is okay to continue with the text that you started. Although, I mean, it's the same lineage of thinking. Maybe a little bit might be different here and there. Since you started yesterday, I think maybe it's a good idea to just continue that.
Okay. Okay, Brahmaraji. Dhanyavad.
Hari Om, we did Vasudevendra Yogindram, then I think Sadhan Chatushtayam, Sadhan Chatushtaya Sampanna. This we have to start. Sampan Adhikarina. Page number 11, I think. We started the Tatvabodha. Or you can start from the invocation. I think we can start from invocation. Vasudevendra Yogindra.
Would you like to chant, Dr. Savita?
No, you chant.
You chanted very well. No, yesterday you chanted very well. Please go ahead if you wish to chant.
Okay. Yeah. Vasudevendra Yogindram Natva Jnanapradam Gurum Mumukshunam Hitarthaya Tatvabodho Vidhiyate.
Dhanyavad, very well chanted. Having saluted Sri Vasudeva, the king of yogis, the guru who is the bestower of jnana, the knowledge of the truth, the Tatvabodha, the knowledge of the truth is expounded for the benefit of the seekers after liberation. By this stanza, Shankara salutes the Lord Sri Vasudeva, who is the Gitacharya and hence the Guru, and bestower of knowledge, who is also the Yogeshwara, Yogindra. It also serves as salutations to his personal Guru Sri Govinda Bhagavad Pada, Govinda being a synonym for Vasudeva. This stanza also indicates the Anubandha Chatushtaya, namely the Adhikari, Vishaya, Sambandha, and Prayojana, which are generally given at the commencement of such treaties. Here, the Adhikari is the Mumukshu, the seeker after liberation. Vishaya is Tatvabodha, the knowledge of the Tattva or truth. Sambandha is the relationship between the thing to be known and that which tells of it. Here, the Vastu to be known is Brahman, and Tatvabodha is that which speaks of it. Prayojana or the benefit, Phala, is Mumukshunam Hita, or the fulfillment of the desire for liberation of the seeker. With this, we get into the text proper. साधन चतुष्टय संपन्नाधिकारिणां मोक्ष साधन भूतम तत्व विवेक प्रकारम वक्ष्यामः. We will now explain for those who are endowed with the fourfold qualifications sadhana chatushtaya. Sadhana chatushtaya, the mode of discrimination which is the means of liberation. For liberation or achieving perfection, the process of discrimination should be employed. The truth is mixed up with or confused with untruth, and therefore a discriminative inquiry, viveka, is needed. This inquiry and associated efforts will yield successful results only if the student is qualified. A student is considered qualified if he possesses the fourfold imperatives or qualifications. Sadhana Chatushtaya. The textbook describes this process of discriminative inquiry. Sadhana Chatushtaya. Sadhana Chatushtayam kim? Nitya Anitya Vastu Vivekaha. What are the fourfold qualifications? Nitya Nitya Vastu Vivekaha. The capacity to discriminate between the permanent and the impermanent. Iha mutrartha phala bhoga viragaha. Dispassion to the enjoyment of the fruits of one's actions here and hereafter. Shamadhi Shat Sampattihi. The K is to be pronounced Shamadhi Shat Sampattihi. Kindly correct me if my pronunciation is wrong. The group of 6 accomplishments beginning with Shama. Mumukshutvam Cheti, the yearning for liberation. Viveka, discrimination. Nitya Nitya Vastu Vivekah Kaha. What is meant by the discrimination between the eternal and the ephemeral? Nitya Vastavekam Brahma. Tadvyatitiriktam Sarvam Anityam. Ayameva Nitya Vastu Vivekaha. Brahman alone is the one Nitya Vastu, the eternal factor. Everything else is Anitya, that is impermanent. This conviction is the discrimination between the eternal and the ephemeral. If you want me to repeat anything, please let me know. Viveka or discrimination between the eternal and ephemeral, the permanent and impermanent, is the conviction that Brahman alone is the eternal factor, Nitya Vastu, and everything else is ephemeral, anitya, or bound by time. Time is a product of mind, and Brahman transcends the mind. Brahman is not bound by time. It should be noted that the student at this point does not know what Brahman is. He only has the conviction of its truth and the ability to reject what is impermanent. A Viveki is the one who is keenly alive to the problem of imperfection and the one who has a clear goal. Do let me know if you want to have discussion or we want to go ahead with the text and then we want to have the manana. Yeah, I hope that so the in the sadhana chatushtaya we have started with iha mutrartha phala bhoga viragah, dispassion to the enjoyment of the fruits of one's actions here and hereafter, shamadhi shat sampattihi, the group of 6 accomplishments beginning with shama, anandaram mumukshutvam cheti, the yearning for liberation, discrimination, nitya anitya vastu vivekah kaha. What is meant by the discrimination between the eternal and the ephemeral? Nitya vastu vekam brahma, tad vyatiriktam sarvam anityam. Ayameva nitya nitya vastu vivekah. Brahman alone is the one nitya vastu, the eternal factor. Everything else is anitya, that is impermanent. This conviction is the discrimination between the eternal and ephemeral. Viveka or discrimination between the eternal and ephemeral, the permanent and the impermanent, is the conviction that Brahman alone is the eternal factor, Nitya Vastu, and everything else is ephemeral, anitya, or bound by time. Time is a product of mind, and because Brahman transcends the mind, Brahman is not bound by time. It should be noted that the student at this point does not know what Brahman is. He only has the conviction of its truth and the ability to reject what is impermanent. A Viveki is the one who is keenly alive to the problem of imperfection and the one who has a clear goal. So, Nitya Nitya Vastu Vivekaha, very well explained. Do let me know if you want to have manana in between. Vairagya or dispassion. Viragaha kaha. What is dispassion? Iha swarga bhogeshu ichharahityam. The absence of desire for the enjoyment of the fruits of one's actions in this world as also in the other world. Vairagya is the absence, rahityam, of the desire to enjoy even the fruits of one's own efforts, not only in this life but hereafter. This vairagya or dispassion should arise out of discrimination rather than despair. I repeat, this is very important line. Vairagya is the absence or rahityam of the desire to enjoy even the fruits of one's own effort, not only in this life but hereafter. This vairagya or this passion should arise out of discrimination rather than despair. It is a natural result of a vigorous discrimination by which the seeker recognizes that the pleasures resulting from material gifts are impermanent. There is a breaking of voice notification. Kindly let me know if it is disturbing the flow. So, viragaha kaha, it is the absence of the desire to enjoy even the fruits of one's own efforts, not only in this life but also life hereafter. And it is a natural result of a vigorous discrimination by which the seeker recognizes that the pleasures resulting from material gains are always impermanent. Shat Sampatti. Shatka Sampatti. Sampatti. Shamadhi sadhana sampattihi ka. What are the accomplishments of sadhana? Starting with Shama, sadhana, Kshamyatam. What are the accomplishments of sadhana? Starting with Shama. Shamo dama uparama उपरमस्तितिक्षा श्रद्धा समाधानं च इति. शमो दम उपरमस्तितिक्षा श्रद्धा समाधानं च इति. They are shama, dama, uparama, titiksha, shraddha and samadhana. The 6 accomplishments of sadhana are shama, dama, uparama or uparati, titiksha, shraddha and samadhana. I repeat once again, the 6 accomplishments of sadhana are shama, dama, uparama or uparati, titiksha, shraddha and samadhana. By accomplishing these qualifications, the seeker develops an integrated personality needed for spiritual development. Shama. Shamaha kaha. What is shama? Mano nigraha. Control or mastery over the mind. Shama is the mastery or control over one's mind. When one's mind doesn't pose a problem, or when one stops being overwhelmed by emotion, then one has acquired Shama. Mind is a force that is meant to be at one's command, but most people get overwhelmed by the mind instead. This situation leads to regrets and frustration. Control of the mind, mano nigraha, is the first step in the spiritual pursuit. So, Shama is the mano nigraha. Damaha kaha. What is Dama? Chakshuradi bahi nigraha. Control of the external sense organs such as the eyes, etc. Dhamma, the control of the external senses of perception and action. This is again a natural outcome of Shama. But in case one has not achieved sufficient control of one's mind, Dhamma is still helpful because response of the mind is eventually expressed by the senses. Control of senses is called Indriya Nigraha. Indriya Nigraha. So Dama is Indriya Nigraha. Uparama or Uparati. Uparamaha kaha. What is Uparama? Swadharmanushtanameva. Strict observance of one's own dharma, duty. Uparama is defined as the strict observance of one's dharma, swadharma. Thus, a man has duty towards himself, the parents, teacher, family, society, etc. Performance of duty, dharma, usually involves sacrifice as opposed to rights, which involve demands. I repeat the last line. Performance of duty, dharma, usually involves sacrifice as opposed to rights, which involve demands. Titiksha. Titiksha ka. What is titiksha? Shitoshna sukha dukhadi sahishnutvam. The endurance of heat and cold, pleasure and pain, etc. Titiksha is that frame of mind in which one is able to endure heat and cold, pleasure and pain, and such other opposites of which the life consists. Vagaries of life will definitely subject one to different conditions, which are pleasant as well as unpleasant. One who has a happy frame of mind and accepts things as they are has achieved titiksha. Accepting things or situations with either grudge or helplessness is not titiksha. I repeat, accepting things or situations with either grudge or helplessness is not titiksha. So, with happy frame of mind, when you accept things, people, situation, then it is titiksha in the pairs of opposite. Next is Shraddha. Shraddha kidrishi.
Balaji, are we using the same Tattva from yesterday?
Yes,
Or
my
this?
dear. Bramaraji was there with us in the
Oh,
and she introduced and she said it's better to continue what we started yesterday.
okay, that's fine. Because it's so hard to read in Sanskrit for me, so that's why I was wondering. Okay, anyway, that's fine.
No, if it is if you find it difficult, we can shift to Swami Chinmaya. Both are I can share. We can
Yeah,
do that.
both are same only, but I'm
Yeah.
wondering, like, see, when you're reading this padam, right? This what is Shraddha?
Hmm.
Can you read it in Sanskrit? What is that one? Ka Tidiksha?
Titiksha ka
Tidiksha ka. Okay.
शीतोष्ण सुख दुखादि सहिष्णुत्वम.
Okay.
You want me
Because
to? I can project that also because I asked in the beginning.
oh,
Uh,
because we only read the introductions. Now we are going into Tatvabodha. I thought it'd be nice to that so like memorize these padas. So anyway, it's up to you guys. But I feel like
No,
I
I
couldn't
didn't
read
know that
it.
there was this problem of the English transliteration.
Yeah.
Vela, you can shift to Swami
okay,
Chinmayananda's text. If that
sure.
suits well for everyone, the
Yeah,
whole
yeah.
idea is for us to learn. So if that is aiding us, let's go ahead. I was not aware of this. This was the
No, that's
difference.
why, Dr. Brahmara, because it's probably pretty much same, but
Yeah.
that one had the transliteration, so you
No,
can
no
easily
issues
read.
at all. We can shift.
Yeah,
Please
sorry
shift that
about
if
that.
that's okay for you.
Yeah, I can read from here, whatever you want to do. Thanks.
Yeah. Are you able to see the screen?
Yeah, we can see it now.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah. So I begin. It is a text by Swami Tejomayananji, Pujya Tejomayananji. Vedanta introduction. Vedanta begins with the question, what is the goal of human life? Each one seems to have an apparently different goal. One wants to become a doctor, another an actor, yet another an Olympic gold medalist, and almost all want to become rich if asked. Why do you want to become a doctor or an actor? Why do you want money or fame? The final answer is to become happy. So, in and through all our pursuits, we desire happiness alone. This is the common goal of all living beings. We think happiness is in this or that object, and so we make the object our goal. When did this desire for happiness begin in us? We find that we are born with it. The search for happiness presupposes an existing state of dissatisfaction or sorrow. Is it not strange that all human beings have been searching from beginningless time, from morning to night, from birth to death, life after life for happiness, and yet do not seem to have found it? Could we not give up this desire to remain in sorrow? That too is not possible. We cannot be happy being unhappy. Let us inquire, what is the nature of the happiness we seek? Do we want to be happy today, tomorrow, or next year? No. We want to be happy every moment, starting from now and forever after. Hence, all fairy tales end with the sentence, and they lived happily ever after. We seek eternal happiness. We seek eternal happiness. If we experience some happiness in place, object, situation, person A, and some more in B, then we seek B because we want the maximum happiness possible. In fact, we want unlimited, infinite happiness. Presently, we seek to change the following in order to gain happiness. But do we find it? Place. We undergo lots of travels in travel to reach a holiday resort. Holiday resort. When the novelty of the place wears out, we return. Time. We always wait for better times to come. Objects. We change our cars, houses, TVs, etc. with regularity, hoping that the new model would give us greater joy or lesser trouble. Circumstances, status. The bachelor wants to get married. The married one divorces. And yet another becomes a renunciate in order to become happy. We change jobs in search of job satisfaction to often find that we have jumped from the frying pan into the fire. People, we make and break human relations. We fire the maid in order to make the mother happy and leave her in order to keep the wife smiling. Body. We have evolved over we have evolved over innumerable lives from the unicellular to the human just to be happy. But even in this life, many contemplate suicide, that is, change the body to get rid of sorrow. So, just by changing the above, our desire for happiness does not end. I think there is a breaking of voice. If it is disturbing, just let me know. So just by changing the above, our desire for happiness does not end. It would only end when we gain eternal, infinite bliss. Where is this happiness that we seek? Are we looking for it in the wrong place? There are two aspects to life: I, the experiencer, the subject, and the world of objects, emotions, and thoughts. Now, let us ascertain if happiness is the nature of the subject or the objects. One cannot say that there is nothing called happiness, since we all experience it, however, fleetingly. Please excuse me if there is no full stop in the typing. If I make mistake in reading, just stop me. Sweetness is the nature of sugar. Hence, every particle of it is sweet, irrespective of the time, place, circumstances, and the person who eats it. It tastes sweet. If eaten for the 50th time, it would still taste sweet. Similarly, if happiness were the nature of the objects of the world, irrespective of the one who experiences them, when or where or however frequently, they would give us joy. For example, chocolates seem to give joy to many. But if we were woken up at midnight to eat one, what would be our reaction? The 50th bar of chocolate would make us sick of it. This inquiry should be done by each one of us about all the objects of the world. If happiness is not the nature of any object, then by the law of the remainder, Parishesha Nyaya, it should be the nature of the subject. Therefore, I am the source of happiness. In fact, I am infinite bliss. I am what I seek. This is the essence of the Vedas, the revelations of the great rishis. Let us think further in order to ascertain this fact, which may initially seem too far fetched. In the deep sleep state, there is no world, yet we experience happiness. Therefore, it is wrong to think that objects alone make us happy. Who experiences happiness in deep sleep? I am there to witness the state of sleep and be happy. Everything tends to change or go towards its own inherent nature. For example, if a block of ice is placed in room temperature, it begins to melt and continues to do so till it has fully reached its most natural state, water. What do we go towards, joy or sorrow? Our own nature is never a burden to us. Is happiness ever considered a burden? We only get weighed down by sorrow, never by happiness. Hence, unconditioned, objectless happiness is our own true nature. I repeat the last line. Hence, unconditioned, objectless happiness is our own true nature. There are two types of achievements in the world. First, gain of the ungained thing. Apraptasya praptihi. Assuming I am a pauper and in need of money, I have to know how to make money and then work hard to gain it. Therefore, knowledge plus action equal to gain. Second, gain of the thing already gained. Praptasya praptihi. If I were to search for my lost keys and someone points out that they were in my pocket all along, do I have to do anything to gain them? No, they were always with me. But through ignorance, I thought I had lost them. On knowing their whereabouts, I gained them. Therefore, knowledge equal to gain. No action is required. The gain of the self obviously belongs to the second category. The self is never far from us in terms of time or place. Happiness only appears ungained due to the ignorance of the self. It can be gained by self-knowledge. For any knowledge to take place, three factors are required. Number one, the object to be known, prameya. Number two, the knower of the object, pramata. Number three, the means of knowing it, pramana. Prameya, pramana, pramata, pramana. The most common means of knowledge are first, direct perception, pratyaksha pramana. It is the knowledge gained through the five sense organs of the perception. For example, eyes see color, form, etc. Second is inference, anumana pramana. Based on what we perceive and already know, we infer a thing. For example, we have experienced that whenever there is fire, there is smoke. Therefore, on seeing it, we can infer that there is fire. So, pratyaksha pramana, anumana pramana, and the third is now words, shabda pramana. We gain knowledge by reading or hearing from people who have directly experienced a thing or heard about it. Both inference and word knowledge are based on direct perception. As regards self-knowledge, the object to be known, prameya, is the self, and the knower, pramata, is also the self. What is the means of gaining it? The self is not available for direct perception. Therefore, it cannot be inferred or spoken of. Then how is self-knowledge possible? The means for it is the Vedas. The Vedas are the discoveries of the laws of nature, the world, and the beings living in it, and the ultimate truth. They are called Apaurusheya Grantha, authorless works, as they are not books composed by men at a particular period in history, like the discovery of the law of gravitation by Newton. The ancient masters received these eternal truths as revelations in meditation. They were later compiled and codified by Veda Vyasa into the four Vedas, Rig Veda, Yajurveda, Samaveda, Atharva Veda. The main topics of the Vedas are Dharma, the laws governing the individual Jiva, the world, Jagat, and the creator, Ishvara, their interrelationship, and the laws of karma, etc., by which man can live a successful worldly life. This part of the Vedas is called Karma Kanda and Upasana, Upasana Kanda. And Upasana Kanda. So that is about the Dharma. Second is Brahman, the knowledge of ultimate truth. Answers the fundamental questions of life. Who am I? What is my role in life, etc. Self-knowledge liberates individuals from the limitations of worldly existence. This portion is called Jnana Kanda, Upanishad or Vedanta. The three basic texts, the three basic texts that a student of Vedanta studies from a guru are the Upanishads, Brahma Sutras, and the Bhagavad Gita. They are called the Prasthana Trayi. The new initiates, if they were to begin with these texts right away, would find them difficult to comprehend, and therefore they are first taught introductory texts, Prakarana Granthaha. These books explain the basic concepts of Vedanta in simple terms without going into any argumentation of various philosophic thoughts. Tatvabodha, written by Sri Adi Shankaracharya, is one such Prakarana Grantha. In a simple question-answer style, he has expounded the essence of Vedantic terminology and philosophy. The notes are added to help the seeker. So that is the introduction, and now the invocation. Do we want to have Manana, or I read ahead since it was already? Please guide me. Should I continue reading?
Yeah, I don't know what the time is right now. So,
Yeah, should we have some Manana or
I think please continue.
go ahead. No, we should read further.
okay. Invocation. An auspicious beginning foretells an auspicious end. So, Vedanta texts begin with an invocatory prayer. We invoke the grace of the Lord and the Guru, without whom no undertaking is possible. It is only due to His grace that the writing, speaking, listening, or reading of any text is possible, and with His grace alone would the text reach its culmination, its ultimate purpose being the realization of the truth. Prayer fills the heart with humility, love, and strength. It inspires us and opens the doors of our inherent creative potential. Sri Shankaracharya, true to Vedantic tradition, starts the text with an invocatory prayer. Vasudevendra Yogindram Natva Jnanapradam Gurum Mukshunam Hitarthaya Tatvabodhobhidhiyate. Vasudevendra Yogindram. Vasudevendra amongst yogis. Natva, having saluted. Jnana Pradam, the bearer of knowledge. Gurum, having saluted. Jnana Pradam, the bestower of knowledge. Gurum, Guru. Mumukshunam, of the seekers. Hitathaya, for the benefit. Tatvabodha, Tatvabodha, Abhidhiyate, is expounded. Vasudevendra Yogindram Natva Pradam Mumukshunam Hitarthaya Tvabodha Vidhiyate. Having saluted Sri Vasudevendra of yogis, the Guru, who is the bestower of knowledge, Tatvabodha is expounded for the benefit of the seekers. Vasudevendra, the consciousness pulsating in each of us, incarnated as the son of Vasudeva and Devaki due to the demand of the age. Yogindra, a yogi, is one who practices yoga, not as in Ashtanga Yoga. The king of yogis is the one who has attained yoga, union with the self. Also, the Lord is the king of all yogis. Jnanapradam Guru. Gu, darkness. Ru, remover. The Guru is the one who removes the darkness of ignorance with the light of knowledge. Krishnam, Krishnam Vande Jagat Guru. Lord Krishna is worshipped as the Guru of all, as all knowledge originates from the Lord alone. One of the names of Lord Krishna is Govinda. Shankaracharya's Guru was also called Govinda Padacharya. So, in this verse, along with the Lord, Shankaracharya also salutes his own teacher, the king among yogis and the giver of self-knowledge. In the spiritual tradition of India, authors of texts followed the convention of proving right at the beginning the validity and purpose of writing a book. The book would not be accepted if written without a valid reason. In modern school texts, we find the subject and the student group for whom it is meant specified on the cover page, on the cover itself. For example, geography for standard 5th. In this manner, the texts are readily identifiable. In the past, too, authors used to present the specifications through the Anubandha Chatushtaya, which comprises the following. So, who are eligible for this? Number 1, Adhikari, for whom the text is meant. Tatvabodha is meant for the seeker of liberation. Mumukshunam, one who wants name, fame, pleasures, and power need not waste time reading this text. Those who want to free themselves of all limitations and sorrows for all times to come alone are fit for this knowledge. Vishaya, the subject matter of the text. Tat, that, tva, this, that, without which a thing is not itself. Or, in other words, the essence or reality is called Tatvabodha, means knowledge. Tatvabodha is the knowledge of the reality, the subject of the text. Prayojana, the purpose of the text. The purpose of Tatvabodha is liberation. Man seeks several means of getting rid of his many sorrows. They may be temporarily alleviated, but they never end for good. For good. Man wants to be permanently free from sorrow. This is possible only through the knowledge of reality. So, Prayojan, the purpose of the text is to gain that infinite happiness. Next is Sambandha, the relation of the text to the purpose and the one it is meant for. By the study of Tatvabodha and the realization of the truth, the seeker of liberation gains liberation. It is called Bodhaka Sambandha. Bodhya Bodhaka Sambandha. Kshamyatam. Bodhya Bodhaka Sambandha. Bodhya Bodhaka Sambandha. Kindly correct me if it is wrong. I think Bodhya or Bodhya.
Bodhya, yeah, Bodhya only. So Bodhya means it's a teaching, or Bodhaga is what is taught.
Bodhya Bodhaka Sambandha.
What is being taught,
Thought.
what is relation, right? Or
Yeah.
yeah, okay.
The
Bodhaga
purpose,
means also study of the tattva, right? Bodhaga. I don't remember we read. like when you read like Tattva, right? Tat is
Tatparya.
meaning that, and Twa is ness, thatness. So the Bodhaga means study of the thatness, right? Is that what that was?
Here in
I'm
the
just yeah,
Tatparyam, in the Tatparyam,
yeah.
it is not to be one.
Okay, it just said expounded. Okay, got it. Thanks.
Yeah.
Sorry. Yeah.
Yeah, it's okay. Yeah, we have to be, I mean, the clarity should be. So here the for whom it is like adhikarito, vishaya, prayojana, and the sambandha. It has to be clear. It is very clear
Yeah,
for
that's fine.
the purpose. Yeah.
Hmm. That's
Bodhya and
Anubandha
Bodhaka sambandha.
Sadhus. Yeah, right. Mhm. That's Samandha, right?
It is the fourth aspect of the sadhana chatushta. Anubandha chatushta, sorry. Yeah. Anubandha chatushta. Kshamyataam. Yeah. Adhikari, Vishana, Prayojana, Sambandha. Bodhya Bodhaka Sambandha. The invocatory verse not only invokes the grace of the Lord and the Guru, but also indicates the Anubandha Chatushtaya.
So what that means, like you said, the three steps, right? The study of the Tattva Bodha and seeking the realization, and then liberation. That's what that Bodhya, Bodhaka, and whatever Sambandha relationship. That's where you read the last line. Sorry.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Anubandha Chatushtaya.
Oh
Anubandha
yeah.
Chatushtaya. Yeah.
Right. Right. Okay. So the invocatory verse not invokes, uh,
Not
but
only
also
invoke.
indicates Anubandha says this. Yeah. Okay. Mm.
So should we do the manana for a few
What?
minutes or I read ahead?
Mm. Now only there we are coming to sadhana sadhistaya sambandhikam. Okay.
Yeah, it is. We already in the previous Tatvabodh, we had
You did that.
completed. Yeah.
Okay, that's fine. I mean, I know what it is, but I was only wanting to read these lines, like what is in the transliteration.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because
Yeah. It is
when,
perfect. Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah. I
that's why.
inquired, but in the beginning you were not there. So I think it was,
No,
yeah.
yeah, I got delayed because my phone was completely off charge. I had to find something to connect to. Actually, my husband came. I'm in my daughter's house, all complications today. So that's why I couldn't get on time on my
No
phone.
problem. Yeah. No
Sorry.
problem. I think so. I can go ahead another few minutes if we, because this already we have, yesterday also we have read. The text begins thus. Sadhana chatushtaya sampannadhikarinam moksha sadhana bhutam tattva viveka prakaram vakshyamah. Sadhana chatushtaya sampannadhikarinam, for those who are endowed with the fourfold qualifications. Moksha sadhana bhutam, the means of liberation. Tattva viveka prakaram, the mode of discrimination. Vakshyama, we shall expound. Sadhana chatushtaya sampannadhikarinam moksha sadhana bhutam tattva viveka prakaram vakshyam. We shall explain to those who are endowed with the fourfold qualifications the mode of discrimination, which is the means of liberation. The mode of discrimination. The word viveka comes from the verbal root vik, means to separate. Man has the subtle power of discrimination that distinguishes him from other beings. In a state of ignorance, he uses it merely to recognize objects and concepts of the world, comparing, contrasting, and categorizing them or distinguishing between the conducive and the non conducive. For example, this is good music. The brown shirt is better than the blue one, etc. When this same faculty is used for discriminating the real from the unreal, it liberates man. The means of liberation. Avichara. Krito bandhaha vicharena nivartate. All bondage is due to either total lack of thinking, incomplete thinking, or wrong thinking. I repeat, the means of liberation, avichara. Avichara. Krito bandha vicharena nivartate. All bondage is due to either total lack of thinking, incomplete thinking, or wrong thinking. It can be removed by right and complete thinking. It is said that most problems would not arise if only we paused to think for a moment. But a moment is a long time, and thinking is a difficult process. We all think from morning to night, from birth to death. But the question is, do we really think? Some thinking happens uncontrolled, irrelevant, dissociated, and distracted thoughts occur at a random. And then this thinking leads to worry, anger, tension, and quarrels. I think there is no full stop. I read once again. Some thinking happens. Uncontrolled, irrelevant, dissociated, and distracted thoughts occur at random, and then this thinking leads to worry, anger, tension, and quarrels. Now, for a change, let us think differently. Let us think about the fundamental questions of life. Who am I? Am I the ever changing body and the fluctuating mind? What is the goal of my life? Is it merely to eat and be merry? This inquiry is the means to liberate us from all conflicts of life. Endowed with the fourfold qualifications, one may seek to liberate oneself by means of right inquiry. But one is unable to conduct it due to one's own inadequacy. The mind is not subtle, pure, or single pointed enough to dwell deep. One who has the fourfold qualifications is capable of inquiry and realization, just as one has completed a master's degree in physics is qualified for attempting a doctorate in that field. The fourfold qualification. Sadhana chatushtayam kim? नित्यानित्यवस्तु विवेकः इहामुत्रार्थफलभोगविरागः शमादि षट्सम्पत्तिः मुमुक्षत्वं चेति. Sadhana chatushtayam, fourfold qualifications. Kim, what? Nitya nitya vastu vivekah, discrimination between the permanent and the impermanent. Iha mutrartha phala bhoga viragah, dispassion towards the enjoyment of the fruits of actions here and hereafter. Shamadhi Shat Sampatti, the sixfold wealth like Shama, etc. Mumukshutvam, yearning for liberation. Cha and iti, thus. Sadhana Chatushtayam Kim, नित्यानित्यवस्तु विवेकः इहामुत्रार्थफलभोगविरागः शमादिषट्सम्पत्ति मुमुक्षुत्वं च इति. What are the fourfold qualifications? The capacity to discriminate between the permanent and the impermanent, dispassion to the enjoyment of the fruits of one's actions here and hereafter, the group of 6 accomplishments, inner wealth, beginning with Shama and the yearning for liberation. After enumerating the fourfold qualifications, each is elaborated upon. Discrimination. Nitya nityavastu vivekah kaha. Nityavastavekam brahma tadavyaktirita. Nityavastu ekam brahma. Nityavastvekam brahma tadvyatiriktam sarvam anityam. Ayameva nityanityavastu vivekah. Nityanityavastu vivekah. Discrimination between the permanent and the impermanent. Kaha, what? Nityavastu ekam. The eternal is one. Brahma, reality. Tad vyatiriktam, apart from it. Sarvam, all. Anityam, are ephemeral. Ayam, this. Eva, alone. Nitya nityavastu viveka. Discrimination between the permanent and the impermanent. Nitya nityavastu viveka. Kaha nityavastu ekam. Brahma tad vyatiriktam sarvam anityam. Ayam eva nitya nityavastu viveka. What is meant by discrimination between the permanent and the impermanent? The reality alone is eternal. Everything else is ephemeral. This conviction alone is the discrimination between the permanent and the impermanent. Viveka is the capacity of the intellect to distinguish, categorize, and recognize one thing from another. This is present even in animals. They separate the edible from the inedible, a friend from a foe, etc. But only man can use this faculty to inquire into the relationship between the part and the whole. Amsha, Amshi, Viveka. The means and the goal. Sadhana, Sadhya, Viveka. The good and the pleasant. Shreya, Preya, Viveka. The self and the non-self. Atma, Anatma, Viveka. The eternal and the ephemeral. Nitya, Anitya, Viveka. So please remember, Amsha, Amshi, Viveka. Sadhana, Sadhya, Viveka. Shreya, Preya, Viveka. And Atma, Anatma, Viveka. Nitya, Anitya, Viveka. I think we can...
Can we discuss this different, because only Nitya Anitya Viveka my understanding was, but there are so many different ways. So can we little bit repeat it or do some manana?
Okay.
Yeah, actually, you have to read this whole paragraph. Finished, I think, like few more lines for Viveka. If you kind of finish that, would be helpful.
Oh,
Is that a lot? Oh,
no, it's one
Uh,
page. Full
one
page.
paragraph, one page. Okay.
Yeah.
It will only take a couple of minutes and it's finished. That way we
Yeah,
can
okay.
see what.
Okay. On inquiry, we realize that the only constant thing, the only changeless thing in the world is change. The size and weight of the body changes, the hair grays, the moods of the mind change, our intellectual capacities and opinions change. Personalities change, duties change, faith changes, and so on. The objects and beings around us change, relationships change, economic, political, and social circumstances change, etc. Education, technology, fashions, lifestyles, modes of transport and communication, entertainment, everything is changing. The earth and the elements, rivers and mountains, and even the sun, moon, the stars, and their configurations change. From the atomic to the cosmic level, everything is in a state of flux. Things come and go, staying only a little while. Nothing lasts forever, however much we may want it to. Is there not anything permanent? Sure, there is. For every change, there must be a changeless substratum. The changing factors are innumerable, but the changeless cannot be many. It must be one alone, and being beyond time must be eternal. This eternal factor is called Brahman, the reality in our scriptures. It is only when one intensely realizes the changing nature of everything that the changeless can be distinguished from all else. Uh, I think there is no full stop. So I will just read this line once again. This eternal factor is called Brahman, the reality in our scriptures. It is only when one intensely realizes the changing nature of everything, that the changeless can be distinguished from all else. This firm determination of what changes and what does not is called Viveka, the first of the fourfold qualifications. Yeah, the last line is the takeaway line. It is only when, I repeat once again, it is only when one intensely realizes the changing nature of everything that the changeless can be distinguished from all else. This firm determination of what changes and what does not is called Viveka, the first of the fourfold qualifications. The time is up. If all of you want to just suggest how we should go ahead, whether we should have the manana.
It is like that in the Nirvan Shatkam. It is like you have to, what you want to know, first you have to negate what is not proper. Then you will understand what is proper. This was how Swami Saraswati Dayanand ji said in his lecture that first you should know what is not proper, and then you go towards what is proper. So that negating every time what is not. So in this way, we realizing that what is changing, everything what is there is changeable. Then that changeless, that is the Atma. The Anatma is always changing. That all the worldly things they undergo a change, whereas the Atma, it is changeless. Then after negating, then you will reach that changeless part. It reminded me of the Nirvan Shatka.
Yeah, basically, Viveka is they summarized, right? Like he mentioned what are all the changes, what are the things undergo change, and then trying to discriminate between the what changes, what does not change. So when you know what are the thing changes, then you know which one is not changing, stable or invariable, like that. So that is Viveka. But then, like what Madhuriji was asking, there were several different type of Viveka they had given, right? The names were a little different, but it it all comes under that Nitya Anitya Viveka only in the end. So Nitya is there, every eternal. Anitya is it's not there. So what is not?
This
Anyway.
prayers, like Shreya prayer and all.
Right.
That also,
Yeah.
if we discuss, more clarity will come. Otherwise, generally, Viveka, we just in one sentence we complete it, no? That what is permanent and what is impermanent. That's all. So, of course, it helps. It has helped throughout. But this
If
more
you
in-depth
look at it, there
understanding
is
will help. More
like they had
in-depth
given like 4 different ones, right? Amsi Viveka, which is relationship between the part of it and the whole. So and then the sadhana sadhya Viveka is the means and the goal, which is and then the good and pleasant, like shreyas and prayers. Prayers is all that we do for the pleasant pleasure, for your own pleasure. But Shreyash is for the spiritual, uplifting ourselves, right? Shreyas. And then Atma is, what is Atma, what is an Atma, which is non-self. Everything else other than Atma is Anatma. So then the eternal and the ephemeral is the Nitya Anitya Viveka. So Nitya is eternal, Anitya is, Anitya is ephemeral, which is the impermanent stuff. So basically, they are giving a little bit, it's all, meant the same, but then, like, how it's going to reach. That's what I feel like. Shreyas will reach you, like having that energy, and then sadhana and the
sadhana sadhya, how that also little bit means and the goal.
mm,
Um,
sadhana
how
is like mm,
The goal
some
is
tool
fixed,
we are
no?
using.
The goal is fixed, so it will remain impermanent. Whereas the means can be many to reach our goal. The means can be so many, no? There are various ways to do things. So and
Right,
that
right.
that is not permanent. It will be varying. Whereas the goal will remain the same. To do a task, to reach a point, that goal remains the same, but the means differ. It is this is what I understood. Like
This is very useful, isn't it? That Viveka also will help us. And this
like in a
relationship.
spiritual this thing, some people they do go into bhakti most of the time. Some are doing more of fasting. Some are doing visiting many pilgrimages, and they are doing some tapa and that way, or people more into meditation. So there are so many different means of but the goal they are achieving, like they what the target is the same. So
The
in that
part and
way,
whole also, how we can connect it to our life, that Viveka.
between the part and the whole, part and the whole is that consciousness, like we are the jivatma. We have, this is a small I, and then the big I, that whole consciousness. We are the smaller part of that consciousness, which will merge uh, into that higher consciousness if we are on this path. uh, like we are a part of it. A single, one single, like you can imagine a you can imagine anything, a round piece, and out of that you take out the one part. You are that part of it, but you have to do some purushartha to merge back into that whole. It is in that form. This is what I understood. Amsa Amsi Viveka. Though we are a part of it, but as we are separated due to our ignorance, so to be a part of it, we have to do that
I
purushartha.
think,
So,
yeah, we are something, right? From something to nothing, nothing to everything.
yeah,
Like that
yeah,
concept, like we think we are something because with that ego, but then when you realize you are nothing, when you try to understand this, the this uh, what do you call that, the Brahman, or
knowledge. Yeah,
yeah, the knowledge part. And then when you realize that self is sarvatra samadarshana, like you see yourself in all things, then it becomes everything is you and you is everything. That
yeah,
becomes the whole part, so that realization is what we are seeking, that the liberation or the realization of the self, uh, that part, in the
yeah.
end,
Due to our
like.
ignorance, like we due to our ignorance, we
Mm,
think that we are separate. But when you get that knowledge from the scriptures or and others way, like then uh, you have that this realization, then you come to know that you are a part of it only. You are that whole. You are not separate.
yeah, then also there are some places we think it is real, what is not real, like that kind of stuff, so real as apparent, like when we say the Maya is apparent reality, like the snake on the rope discussion always comes up, whereas the snake is not there. It's an apparent reality when you're looking at it, but when you shine the light through it, that is your knowledge, then you see that's a rope. So that is what this Atma and Atma Viveka.
Yeah.
In the end, like in the next paragraph, Madhuriji here says, most of us use this faculty to discriminate between two perishable objects. And wait, don't go. Then you were there. Yeah, this small paragraph. Objects Anitya Viveka. So the two perishable objects. Anitya Viveka. It's not Nitya Anitya Viveka. One desiring liberation, so one who wants liberation, should have a well developed capacity to discriminate between the eternal and the ephemeral. Nitya Viveka. So that is what in the end, uh, that it is all that you see is, all that you see through your eyes, all that is impermanent, meaning it one time it comes, it arises and it goes off after that some time. So everything is, uh, in Tamil we say, you don't have that layer, what do you call that for that? Impermanent only. It's not stable. Like it's going to go off of it. Whereas, uh, whereas the Atma is indestructible, right? We read it, all the qualities of Atma is indestructible, eternal, and all that, which is what is going to be the permanent thing. So that what our realization going to be? That's what we have to realize. taking
and
away.
to know
Yes.
to like if you really want to know the self, then you have to have a desire for it, that desire, so that the change will happen into you. Until unless though you know all this knowledge, but until unless the desire would not erupt and you will not wish to change, then that change would not happen into you. Knowing it is to knowing it as a knowledge is different, and then imbibing and applying, that's taking this knowledge into self realization. You have to have a desire, so until unless that is not there, you will not be in that changing mood. You will
This
always
is
say
this is
this
very,
answer
very,
just as
very
a knowledge.
essential. This
Yes.
is a very essential step. We need to write it down
Instead
and
of saying it negatively, we can say it, the whole reason you're taking the step is to understand. And so when you understand all these things, you will move towards that knowing yourself. This is, we still ask the question, who am I, who am I? But then how we go about knowing who am I, so that is what that kind of helps us to know. um, I don't remember when we read this about all our organs and things like that. So anyway, that's also good. So sorry, Madhuriji, go ahead. We are probably going over time.
yeah, what Savita ji said, no, I thought that is very important, because many times we are so much interested in knowing and intellectually understanding, because the mind has the tendency to run behind something very difficult. So we enjoy doing all that, but how much really that desire is there to liberate ourselves, and how many steps we are taking in that direction is the more important thing, I feel so. Of
Mhm.
course, the first step is to understand it, but the other step uh, is very essential. Otherwise, it will remain just intellectual juggling. Thank you so much, Savita ji and Maharaj ji.
True. Yeah, of course. The desire, the why I say that is, you are truly that is to be there. But what I meant to tell you is about our subconscious mind. Whatever we are wishing is going to be connected. Whatever in conscious mind is connected to our subconscious mind. So whatever we are giving, thinking, and all that, that's going to be what what will, I mean, that's going to happen, in another way. So if you put that seed in, that I want to get liberated, I want to be free every day, like thinking like that, um, that will kind of mm, s- direct us in that direction. Yeah, we may use different words, but it's probably the same things.
Right.
Yeah,
So
thank you.
beautiful.
So,
Very, very beautiful and very, very useful, Manana. Dhanyavad, everybody. I think we can continue tomorrow. Should we stop here? Anyone would like to share something?
yeah.
I'll just play my
You want to say Shanti Pada Balaji on screen, or we are done?
Yeah, someone can do the Shanti Patha, please.
लोका समस्ता सुखिनो भवन्तु। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। कृष्णार्पणमस्तु।
Om Tat Sat, Om Tat Sat.
निरुपमनित्यनिरंशकेऽप्यखण्डे मयि सर्वविघ्नशून्ये घटयति जगदीश जीवितम् त्वघटितघटनापटीयसी माया अघटितघटनापटीयसी माया श्रुतिशतनिगमनशोधकानपि अहङ्कारिनिदर्शनेन सद्यः कलुषयति चतुष्पदाध्यभिन्नानघटितघटापटीयसी माया सुखचिदखण्डविबुधमद्वितीयम् वियदनलादिनिर्मित्ते नियोय भवसागरे नितान्तम् त्वघटितघटनापटीयसी माया अपगतगुणवर्णजातिभेदे सुखचितिविप्रविडार्यहङ्कृतिं च स्फुटयति सुतदारकेह त्वघटितघटनापटीयसी माया विधिहरिहरविभेदमप्यखण्डे बत विरचय्य बुधानपि प्रकामम् भ्रमयति हरिहरविभेदभावानघटितघटनापटीयसी माया त्वघटितघटनापटीयसी माया